Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe. Jai Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jai Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakachaри Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Labai Sharanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakachari Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाय। नवद्वीप श्री मायपुर धाम की जाय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाय। गंगा माँ यमुना माँ की जाय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेटेड बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जाय। The most merciful Lordship Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan Sri Sri Gaunitai Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanande Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the assembled bodies. All glories to the assembled bodies. All glories to the assembled bodies. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 26, entitled King Puranjana Goes to the Forest to Hunt. Text number 5. Asurim vrittimashritya Ghoratman Niranugraha Nyahanan Nishithair Banai Vaneshu Vanagocharan Asurim vrittimashritya Ghoratmanir anugraha Nyahanan nishitair banair Vaneshu vanagocharan Asurim vrittimashritya Ghoratmanir anugraha Nyahanan nishitair banair Vaneshu vanagocharan. Asurim vrittimashritya Ghoratmanir anugraha Nihanan nishitair banair Vaneshu vanagocharan. Anyone else? Asurim vrittimashritya Ghoratmanir anugraha Nihanan nishitair banair Vaneshu vanagocharan. Any Matajis? Asurim, demoniac. Vrittim, occupation. Ashritya, taken shelter of. Ghora, horrible. Atma, consciousness. Heart. Nir anugraha, without mercy. Nyahanat, killed. Nishitaihi, by sharp. Banaihi, arrows. Vaneshu, in the forest. Vanagocharan, the forest animals. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. At that time, King Puranjana was very much influenced by demonic propensities. Because of this, his heart became very hard and merciless, and with sharp arrows, he killed many innocent animals in the forest, taking no consideration. Shri Shri Gaunita, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. Please repeat. At that time, King Puranjana was very much influenced by demonic propensities. Because of this, his heart became very hard, unmerciless, and with sharp arrows, he killed many innocent animals in the forest, taking no consideration. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When a man becomes too proud of his material position, he tries to enjoy his senses in an unrestricted way, being influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance. He is thus described as asuric or demoniac. When people are demoniac in spirit, they are not merciful towards the poor animals. Consequently, they maintain various animal slaughterhouses. This is technically called suna or himsa, which means the killing of living beings. In Kali Yuga, due to the increase of the modes of passion and ignorance, almost all men are asuric or demoniac. Therefore, they are very much fond of eating flesh, and for this end, they maintain various kinds of animal slaughterhouses. In this age of Kali, the propensity for mercy is almost nil. Consequently, there is always fighting and wars between men and nations. Men do not understand that because they unrestrictedly kill so many animals, they also must be slaughtered like animals in big wars. This is very much evident in the Western countries. In the West, slaughterhouses are maintained without restriction, and therefore, every fifth or 10th year, there is a big war in which countless people are slaughtered even more cruelly than the animals. Sometimes during war, soldiers keep their enemies in concentration camps and kill them in very cruel ways. These are reactions brought about by unrestricted animal killing in the slaughterhouse and by hunters in the forest. Proud, demonic persons do not know the laws of nature or the laws of God. Consequently, they unrestrictedly kill poor animals, not caring for them at all. In the Krishna consciousness movement, animal killing is completely prohibited. One is not accepted as a bona fide student in this movement unless he promises to follow the four regulative principles: no animal killing, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. This Krishna consciousness movement is the only means by which the sinful activities of men in this Kali Yuga can be counteracted. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vansha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. So this purport cannot be more relevant than today. Because how beautifully Srila Prabhupada is describing that what is the cause of all this war situation and the effects of animal killing. So here we heard in the beginning of this chapter that how King Puranjana, he went to the forest for hunting, because it's an allegory. Actual hunting is that he wanted to hunt other women, because he has had enough with his wife. So he wanted to hunt other woman. So that's why he went. And in that process, literally hunting also means kings going to the forest and hunting animals. Srila Prabhupada said that uh, you go and hunt animals, kings are allowed to do that for exhibiting their chivalry and for practice of heroism, because they have to participate in wars and they cannot just back off. So they have to very daringly they have to face. So that is why this hunting helps. So as long as one maintains that mood to protect citizens, for that one practices going for hunting. That is allowed, and any animal which is killed in that process is given royal cremation. But without that, if somebody is hunting animals just for their fun, sometimes we heard that some cinema actors go and then go into the forest and they shoot or someone else, and then they are arrested, or they are put, so many stringent laws are put or cases are put on them, and they are still not got out of those cases. So it's for fun. If somebody wants to hunt and kill the animals, that is not allowed. Even if he is a king, the king may have the forest in his control. It may be part of his property or kingdom. Still, he cannot do that, because it is taking another living entity's life is considered criminal. So, taking cue from that, in today's purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that how animal slaughter is very, very dangerous. The modern society does not know it, that animal slaughter is very dangerous. In fact, they play down the consequences of animal slaughter. They think that it's just another kind of food. That's all. One is vegetarian, another is non-vegetarian. What difference does it make? My choice can be anything. Who are you to stop me to eat only certain kind of food and not certain kind of food? No, it's not like that. Only pigs will eat whatever they want. Human being means they have certain standards, what they should eat, what they should not eat. There are restrictions that are there in the scriptures and by the saintly persons. And if we don't follow that, then such society is asuric society, demonic society. And today Prabhupada is saying most of the people, or almost all of the people, are demoniac. So as a result, what is happening? So many wars are coming up. So many people are being killed in the wars. And when people are killed in the wars, there is big advertisement, the big news comes in the newspapers. So many innocent children are killed, so many people, women are killed, so many men are killed. Such big, it flashes out. But nobody writes about how many goats are killed, how many fish are killed, how many chicken are killed. Nobody talks about it. Every day that is happening. Every day. This happens once in 5-10 years, such big wars, Ukraine war, or the recent the Israel and the Hamas war is going on. People are talking a lot about it, but every day there is so much slaughter is going on. Nobody talks about it, because it's just a matter of food. It is for them. It is. So Srila Prabhupada is bringing the seriousness of killing the animals, and slaughterhouses must be closed. And in especially in the West, the slaughterhouses are mechanized slaughterhouses. And if you actually know the description of those slaughterhouses, you'll be aghast. The live chicken are fed into the machine, and sharp blades cut their beaks, and then the chicken is sent into another chamber where there is a high degree of temperature, and because of that high degree of temperature, the whole body of the chicken becomes pulpy. And then there is another chamber, all the external feathers and all these things are taken away, and then it goes to the another chamber, and in that chamber it is cut into different pieces, and it goes to another chamber where all the hard material is taken away, and then the soft pulpy material is taken, and then it goes to the packing chamber where it is weighed and put in the different covers, and that gets sold. You can imagine a live person, live jiva, and comes as an output as a packet. Can imagine this. This is, we are talking about chicken, but cows are slaughtered like this. There are huge chambers where they are sent through high temperatures, and then the whole skin is you know taken away. This cannot be imagined. People like all of us are not able to imagine something like this, but this is a daily affair in slaughterhouses. Not only in the Western countries, but even in Hyderabad. Hyderabad, do we know that Hyderabad is the highest beef expert in South India? Exporter. And where do they export to? They export to these Far East nations, or these Muslim countries. They export the beef from Hyderabad. Many times I have seen they don't even cover, and big huge trucks. The flesh is right there, and then the blood is oozing from the early morning. They take, sometimes when I travel, I have seen this. They don't even cover it. This kind of cruelty is exhibited to the animals. What will be the reaction of that? So Prabhupada is saying the reaction is that the people are going to kill each other in the form of wars. There will be differences between men and men, nations, or every group, one group with another group. There will be conflicts, and they will kill each other. Mercilessly, they kill each other. So this is the reason why so many wars are happening. And if you see, the wars are happening mostly with those countries who are eating meat. Nations who are eating meat, very badly eating meat. Almost every day they eat meat. Every meal they eat meat. So only such people are participating in these ghastly wars. And what can be said? The less is said, it is, the better it is about the concentration camps. Very bad treatment is meted upon by the recipients in those concentration camps. So much abuse happens, not only to the soldiers, but they abuse the children. Recently, there is a Hamas and Israel war. So they have taken children as hostages, and then they are threatening that if you don't release some of our men, we will not release the children. And when they don't release, they'll kill the children. Very barbarously, they kill the children. And then they take the videos and then send it to them. So such cruelty cannot be imagined. That kind of a cruelty. But we are only talking about this cruelty shown to the men or shown to people, human beings. But what about cruelty shown to animals? The thing that we need to understand is that be very careful of what you are eating, because it has some animal product in it. You may think that I'm eating only this what is that banana chips or something like that. What is there? This is all, very simple thing. What am I eating? Lace or this or that. There are big companies which makes banana chips and, what is that? The other thing, the French fry, huh? French fries. French fries, banana chips, these are simple things that we are eating, we are vegetarian. But you don't know what all involved in that. There may be the oil which is taken from beef may be involved in it. So you are eating, thinking that you are eating vegetarian stuff, but actually you are contributing to the slaughter of animals. And we get part of that karma. Definitely. Shastra clearly says one who actually killed it, uh, one who ordered to kill, one who carried it, one who packed it, one who eaten it, every one of them get the karma of that animal being killed. So it's a very dangerous situation, very precarious situation that we're in. And these oils and all, we do not know what all is mixed in these oils also. We may think it is this oil, that oil, but then so many things are mixed in that oil. Especially when there is a mechanical involvement or mechanized foods are there, mechanized production of mass amount of foodstuffs are produced by machines. There is a danger. What all they add, we don't know, na? When they're actually mechanized things are there. And today, most of the things which we are eating are all mechanized things only. We don't know what happens. Suppose, for example, if you take a semia, we don't know what is involved in it, what all they mixed in that. Semia seems to be a product of, rice or something like that, of rice flour. So, like that, so many things are there. The sabudana or, sugar, or so many things are there. They use animal products in all these things. And the moment you use animal product, you are party to that slaughter. That means we will become a victim of such cruelty in other life, in some conflict of war between two nations or two people or two vehicles. When the vehicles are coming and they're dashing each other, such cruel deaths are there. We can see accidents happen. Don't think that all these things are happening just like that. These are all reactions to what we are doing. And the most important reaction is animal killing. So, unless we take a vow to not eat meat, the cruelty is not going to come down. Srila Prabhupada is saying why people do not consider very deeply that eating meat is bad. Prabhupada's answer is because they are very proud. They are very proud. They think that the whole creation is meant for their eating. Once I had a conference, I participated in a Christian missionaries conference. Their idea was to see what kind of arguments we offer to the different questions that they have. Or they want to know what kind of uh, arguments that we have against some of their principles. They wanted to know. So that's why they called. So in that process, although I started very, uh, you know, nicely with them, that we consider Jesus Christ as our guru, Jesus Christ is a very saintly person, and all that. That's all right. That's all right. They want to know the actual thing. So then I had to come to the point of Jesus Christ said that thou shalt not kill. That means you should not kill. That means you should not harm anyone. They immediately became disturbed. No, 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 no. That is not the point. Actually, God has created everything for the enjoyment of man. This is the answer they gave. God has created. It's a food that is available. God has given. How can you reject the food which is given by God? Then you become food for somebody else then. Isn't it? Don't reject that. Jivo jivasya jivanam. So I was shocked to hear that. And then later on they changed it, as Prabhupada said, it's not thou shall not kill, it is thou shall not murder. The murder is attributed to human beings. Kill means it is every living entity. So how people can change such important commandment that is given by their guru or the representative of God? They've changed it. Similarly, if we also change the four principles given by Srila Prabhupada, little, every time change comes in a very small way. Illicit sex means outside marriage. Inside marriage, whatever you do is not illicit sex. This change is enough to bring in all kinds of problems. Or, some modifications to what Prabhupada has said. Gambling means only, literal gambling. In fact, one devotee told me, he's a very senior devotee, participating in, what is that, BSc, stock market is not actually, it is not gambling. He said, participating in stock market means what? You are doing business, that's all. Morning you are putting, 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 100 rupees, and then evening you are taking the profits. Prabhupada very clearly said it is gambling. And today you are not able to say also, because all those stockbrokers who are there, they will attack if they hear this. Doesn't matter. We are only repeating what Prabhupada said. So it is gambling. So these small things that we try to insert or read, between the lines of what Prabhupada said, some people may not like it, but that is the truth of it. Similarly, eating habits also changed a lot. Now we are making a lot of changes as time progressed. No tea, no coffee. So we have added another flavor to it, which doesn't have caffeine or something like that. In this way, slowly the changes are brought. At one point of time, what can happen? That people actually get into these sinful activities right royally and justify them. So the point is that now, how do we rectify this? The rectification doesn't happen just by changing the habits, eating habits or something like that. The rectification happens by changing the consciousness. So that is why Prabhupada is saying, why all these things are happening? Because man has degraded to the mode of passion and ignorance. If we are in the mode of goodness, there is a sense of responsibility comes that I should not harm others. I should not speak harshly. I should not torment others either by my speech or my actions or my thoughts. Now, this is a finer and finer understanding as the man progresses towards mode of goodness, and then the higher than that is Suddha Sattva. Then one starts thinking. One is always thinking of the welfare of the others. One never thinks how I can use others for my service. Rather, one thinks that how I can be service to others. And this is called Krishna consciousness. And even if I want to be I wanted to be of service to others, how effectively I can be of service to others. Here in this world, we find many men who are service to others. Isn't it? There are great humanitarians. They talk about humanitarian grounds, how we should actually protect human beings and these rights, those rights, all these human rights. But they must have eaten some chicken or mutton and then come and then giving a big lecture about it. For them, the other living entities are not important. It's such a funny thing. And some people are only protector of dogs. For that, they can even kill human beings. It doesn't matter. Just see the irony of it. If there is an accident and the dog is harmed and the human being is harmed, the first attention will go to the dog because they are only thinking about dogs. Human being doesn't matter. So with half knowledge, if we do, these things will happen. So there are many associations, dog protection association, or fish protection association, or this association, that association. All these things happen, but actually These are all different various ways of getting distracted from the original problem. The original problem is that we have developed demonic nature, and the demonic nature gets developed when we go far away from God. That's a basic law. Because God is all merciful. And if anyone comes in contact with God, they will also become all merciful. Srila Prabhupada explains in the Nectar of Instruction, Krishna consciousness is one of the attribute of Krishna consciousness is it is all auspicious. And Prabhupada's explanation of what is all auspiciousness means, all auspiciousness means it must be auspicious for everyone, not one class. They are very well off because of Krishna consciousness, and another class is snubbed. So there is an overall change in the creation if only human beings become better, because everyone else are committing their actions involuntarily. Human beings are the only people who are having a independence or choice to do what what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing. So only human beings change, the whole of creation becomes better. You will not find anyone else in the creation doing wrong things except human beings. Why? Because these Vedic rules are applicable to only human beings. If the tiger pounces upon a deer and then eats the deer, nobody is going to put a case against the tiger, because that is a natural disposition of the tiger according to the laws of God. But that is not so with human beings. If today, whatever degradation that has happened in the society, today we are saying so many problems have come. The global warming is happening. The whole earth is, the first layer of the earth is completely spoiled because of usage of various types of pesticides and all these things. All of these things are happening only because of human beings. Only human beings are contributing. Everybody else is contributing to the balance of this creation. Only human beings are contributing to the imbalance of the creation. Just see how much onus is on us. And that is why Srila Prabhupada said human life is a life of responsibility. He is not saying anybody else should be responsible. Human beings must be responsible. What is responsibility? Responsibility means what is the consequence of my action? That is what is responsibility. I am just closing my eyes and it doesn't matter, God will see, it doesn't matter, let me do whatever I want. Then also God will close when you have to be harmed by others. Whatever happens, let it happen. At that time, God, you want God to see you. Oh God, protect me, please protect me. What about you when you are harming somebody else? These are the questions that we need to ask. How our small or big actions are resulting in suffering to other living entities. This must be definitely asked by any conscientious person. Otherwise, we are amounting to, it is said, no, nir anugraha. Nir anugraha means being very cruel, not being compassionate. So that is why in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna said, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam, etc., Prabhupada explains Ahimsa means, he explains what is actually Ahimsa. Obstructing someone's natural progress in spiritual life is actually called Himsa. In any way you are hindering somebody's spiritual progress, that is Himsa. And we do that a lot. Unknowingly, we do that a lot. Suppose someone is a budding devotee and he has developed certain affinity towards a particular devotee and trying to go along. And you try to say, hey, don't go along with the devotee. You will fall down. He will fall down. Andha yatandhe rupaniya manasti pisyatantra murudam nibandha. He will also get into the ditch. You will also get into the ditch. In this process, you are getting into the ditch. Isn't it? Let the natural spiritual progression happen. If possible, we can give faith in scriptures and acharyas. Don't diminish that faith. Don't speak negative things. A lot of discussion amongst general people is anyway negative because they have no choice to speak anything positive. Today, all the media is flashing about only negative things, negative things, negative things. There's anything positive? Try to see anything positive. There's nothing positive. But if even amongst a community of devotees, also only discussion is about negative things. Although we have so many positive things to discuss about. We have Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, philosophical questions are there, inquiries are there, and the different inspirations that we receive because of association with saintly persons. Holy name is there, and beautiful deities are there. All these positive things, instead of discussing about all these positive things, if we try to discuss about some activities, negative activities of some negative persons, then we are doing a great harm to ourselves and then to others by discussing. So the point I'm trying to make is that himsa is not just killing animals. Himsa, the actual himsa, is not letting other human beings to progress spiritually. Not only human beings, not letting others to progress spiritually. Suppose when we are killing an animal, a human being kills an animal, it does not come under a natural progress that the animal goes through to go back to human life. I don't know whether you're getting this point or not. There is a natural progress. We have slipped away from human life, and then we have to get back to human life by a certain calculation, by God's calculation. And now, if you do cut the animal, you are actually cutting that a natural process. You're prolonging that the animal or that particular jivas going back to human life, and then you will get the reaction for it. So these things are not known to people. They think it's just a matter of choice. They ask in aeroplanes, veg or non-veg. Over the years, we have seen in those 25, 30 years back, when there was an option, most of the people would opt for veg. But now most of the people are opting for non-vegetarian food. You can clearly see that. For them, they don't know what they are doing. For them, it is just a matter of food choice. That's all. So this is a very dangerous thing. And then even governments are not able to do anything about it, because if the governments are doing, the others are projecting it as you are interfering with our freedom of what we want to eat, what we don't want to eat. Unfortunately, rights are there only to human beings. There are no animal rights. You cannot make laws about animal rights also. Forget about animal rights. Women rights are not being, held. The poor women, they wanted a quota in, parliament and in other political positions. They want 33% or something like that. It's not that they want, but the male wanted to show that they are also, women are also equal, so they wanted to bring 33% quota. But if it is all to be decided by men, when will these poor women will get that? It'll never happen. Because these selfish men have to give. Why will they give? So forget about animals and other lower living entities. Even other human beings in the form of women, they are not able to do. And child rights are not there. Everybody's rights are taken away because there is so much cruelty is there, because so much pride is there. The pride is the main cause. Prabhupada is saying, when you are sunk into mode of ignorance and passion, you act with so much pride. And what is the mentality? Quarrelsome nature is pride mentality. People are prideful, they always want to fight. They always want to push others down to show that they are better than others. Whether you do it grossly or subtly, that is what it is. Pride means, I want to show how I am better than others. And Krishna consciousness is, I want to be a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of others. That is what is Krishna consciousness. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. This is what is the devotee's disposition is. So it's all there in our heart. We can see for ourselves whether I'm acting with service attitude or acting with pride or prejudice or some covered humility I'm exhibiting. So many factors are there in our own heart we can see. If we are a very conscientious devotee, then we will be able to see what is my actual nature, what is that I wanted to exhibit. I wanted to act on based on service attitude. I want to be a servant. I want to be of help and use to others. Is that my disposition? Or how I grossly or subtly I wanted to exploit others for my own gain, personal gain. This everyone knows for themselves. And this is demonic attitude, and that is Krishna conscious attitude. So I'd like to stop here. Are there any questions or comments anyone has?
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, you mentioned in the beginning, Hare Krishna. You mentioned in the beginning that the Kshatriyas used to kill for maintaining the chivalry and that passion, that whenever they'll fight in future in the war, they are able to kill those animals. So once one colonel, he asked me this question, the same question, and I answered. Then he was telling about this thing that how can uh, you know this killing some person or this passion be justified, that okay, uh, if there is war, then they'll fight and that passion will come. Why there is a need to kill an animal, an innocent animal like this?
Hunting animal is not necessarily killing animal. It's a process. In that process, if some animal is killed, then it is given a royal cremation. It's not, the goal is not killing. Goal is hunting. Hunting means what? Animal is fleeing for death or whatever it is, and then or animal is attacking you. Depends on what animal that you are involved with. Tigers and lions, they will not run away. They will attack us. The deers and others, they will run away, and then you pursue them. So the idea is not to necessarily kill, but to be involved in that. Actually, it's not that hunting of small animals or defenseless animals. Hunting big animals, like they are sent to fight with tigers and lions. That's when the chivalry comes. Even the lion roars, number one and two happens here, isn't it, for ordinary people? Then what to speak of actually, facing that lion, then, fight with that lion. It's not. It requires a Kshatriya spirit to actually do it. So it is not necessarily, the goal is to kill the animal. In the process, sometimes it happens that animal is killed. Of course, you have to have a better protection than the just a raw muscle power. Sometimes what happens, these kings, they have poisoned uh, arrows, so that the animal doesn't overpower you and kill you. You have to have protection, and then they have armors and all of these things. Or in the modern hunting involves guns and all that. Even if you have guns, you still have to, fight. So I hope that answers that question.
The second question is, Prabhuji, about uh, many people have always asked this question about when Mother Sita saw the golden deer, and at that time she was wanting that golden deer,
Ah.
and at that time Lord Ram goes behind. So how do we justify that?
He has not gone behind the deer to kill the deer. He has gone behind the deer to fetch the deer for Mother Sita. So it's not called hunting. In that process, he came to know that, this fellow is not actually the deer. This fellow is actually a demon. That's when he killed. So the difference is the, of course, you can say uh, pet animals, people keep pet animals. Sometimes they take care of the animals like more than them, more than their children. The dogs, especially dogs. Uh, but the parents, if they take the parents, they put in that case. It's a very very bad thing because the parrot requires a very different kinds of atmosphere. So it's also amounts to cruelty. So man is doing this for his own passion. I want a parrot to be in our house in a case. So that is why I can bring a parrot and put it in a case. And I am happy, but the parrot is not happy about it. So like that sometimes there are shops, pet shops are there. In Hyderabad also many pet shops are there. And only you won't find only pet animals. There are cruel animals are also there in that. Some people put snakes in their houses, depending on how degraded their consciousness is. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Like you were saying that wherever we work, we should have service attitude. But in offices, at times happen many people they have like proud and dominant attitude. At that time, how can we make a balance to have a service attitude and deal with the office daily course and those things?
Service attitude is something which is very, very deep and internal. It's not necessarily like, for example, you will be surprised that all the arrows that was released by Arjuna were done with service attitude. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Ferociously, he's not keeping like this. He is very angry and he's shooting arrows, but it's all done with service attitude. Krishna said that even if you kill everyone in this war, you will not get any reaction because you are doing it as on my order. Similarly, when Hanumanji, when he burnt up Lanka, it was done with great service attitude towards Rama. These are very difficult things for us to digest. But we must understand service attitude is an internal disposition of heart. Like when you are dealing with your children, sometimes you have to deal with your children sternly. But what is the disposition? Love. Same way, when you have to deal with your subordinates, you may have to sternly deal with them, but internally, they must be love. If we can maintain that, if we are a conscientious person, a proper Krishna conscious person, we'll be able to maintain this mood.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else? Yes.
Namaskar. So I wanted to ask a question regarding the dual nature of human beings. So there are people coming to temple and they feel that they love God and they service God, but internally they might be hurting other human beings, even within home or as you mentioned with children or subordinates. But they feel that they are attached to God, but they do exact the opposite thing when dealing with the day-to-day life. So, and this is very common in many human beings.
This is like
Very common in human beings, majorly. So, how do people get to that understanding that whatever they are doing is wrong, and how they can reconcile properly?
see what you are describing, people who come to God and all that. That is more on a sentimental platform. It's not on a platform of knowledge. So when I'm in a sentimental platform, one side I'm also worshipping God, but another side I'm also harming others. Some of the very religious people who come to participate in religious functions, every day they eat meat. You know, every day they eat meat. How can you reconcile this? So that means we can only reconcile this by thinking that they have only superficial, so-called ritualistic attachment to God. There is no real love towards God. They don't know the Atma Tattva or Bhagavat Tattva. If they actually were to know Bhagavat Tattva or Atma Tattva, they would not do these demonic activities. So that is why Prabhupada wanted that temples should be educational institutes, teaching people not some sentimental attraction to God, but actually some substantial service attitude towards God, knowing that we are eternal servants of God. Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Nityara Krishna Das. The actual disposition of the living entity is to be of service to God. This has to be taught to everyone. We are struggling because modern people, they have a one disease called no time disease. They have time for everything, but they don't have time for sitting and hearing attentively. Even in our Bhagavatam class happens, people do their own business. They'll do their, phone call business, or they will, talk amongst themselves, or as if nothing is happening, oblivious. They're completely oblivious to Bhagavatam class. You know what is supposed to happen during Bhagavatam class? Pin drop silence. All the other activities must stop. People should sit down, focusedly hear. That is the purpose of Bhagavatam class. Prabhupada instituted this Bhagavatam class both morning and Bhagavad Gita class in the evening so that people can get benefit out of this, so that they don't just come and see God in a sentimental manner, but they can develop actually love for God.
One question. How can that love be developed? How the superficiality can be removed and the deep love with God
By
come into this?
association of saintly persons.
Sorry?
We have to associate with saintly persons,
Yeah.
follow their instructions. It doesn't happen just like that. A strong covering of, a lot of contamination is there in the heart. It has to be scrubbed and then it should go away. And it goes away by following Lord Chaitanya's instruction. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. When we chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra under the guidance of devotees, then the heart gets cleansed of millions of lifetimes of contamination gets cleansed. That is why Prabhupada wanted kirtans to happen so that people can sit and participate in the Harinam Sankirtan, loud chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. These things are very important because involuntarily the heart becomes cleansed by participating. And slowly, when you participate in Sankirtan, then next step is you want to hear about the glories of God. And the next step is you wanted to follow those principles that are enunciated by acharyas. So these are the progressive steps towards coming out of that duplicitous nature. Right?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for a very beautiful class. Uh, one of the points that I drew from the question he asked, there is a principle called as angel for the world and demon at home, we call it.
Angel for the world, demon at home.
And demon at home.
What is
so
that?
what is the little meaning of that? Like somebody may be coming to temple, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regs, getting initiated and super enthusiastic in spiritual life, and they are careless, neglectful to the household responsibilities. That is not such a bad thing. One is to be irresponsible, but there are others in their personal lives. Their demon at home means they may beat up wives, their wife, or they may abuse children by being violent on them.
You coined it nicely, huh?
Yeah. So
I also heard the coining of this sage on stage.
yeah,
Same thing, no?
yeah, correct.
Sage on stage. On stage he is sage,
Yeah.
but behind the stage he is demon.
Yeah. So actually, with the question that Prabhu asked is one of the questions that all our spiritual society people ask this question because they want people to be responsible at home also, and be that means be a first a good human being, and then be a good devotee. Otherwise, don't pose as a great devotee and then not being a good human being. So how do you answer that?
I mean, the point is, it's a very difficult, judgment, because if anyone has a problem with you, the first thing they would do is that they want to establish how you are demonic at home. All right? And how they establish it? They establish by their own standard how you are a demon at home. And as you said, there are people who are actually willfully they are demonic at home or demonic in their personal life, but try to be very, very, very saintly externally. There are such people, definitely there are such people. That is why the general tendency is disbelief. When people actually are not able to believe saintly persons because they have seen time and again they're behaving in a very wrong way when they are in a private manner when they see them. So it's true, but it's not a norm that till I become completely self-realized, I should not come to public and speak anything about God. That is the other extreme. If you push it to too extreme, this point of being, sagacious in your personal behavior, and till that time you cannot speak, that is also not right. Because then when things will be spoken, who is that absolute person who is completely, faultless and then can speak? Fault is there. So what we should try to uh, educate people, encourage people is that, as Chanakya Pandit said, that you can pick up gold from even filthy place. This is the attitude that we should develop as far as general people are concerned. But as far as the people who are speaking, you know, uh, Krishna conscious things or God related things, we should train them or train ourselves that achar and prachar. Speak what you practice. I will give my personal example. One time I was very much disturbed by this. Uh, because certain things I'm speaking, I know that I'm not following those things, but those things come in the purport, so we have to discuss. So I asked one senior devotee, how do I deal with this? I feel very uncomfortable, speaking about these things while I know very well that I am not actually following. So he said in a very, very simplistic manner, he addressed that, and I really liked it. I will share with you. He said, whatever you are 100% following and you want others to follow, even if you use the word you, no problem. That means you can say, you should not do this, you should not do this, even if you actually using you is not a small thing. You are actually directly instructing people, you must do this, you must do this, you. So he said, whatever you are absolutely following and you have no shaky, platform about it, you can use the word you. But those things which you wanted to do and you want also others to do, then use the word we. We should follow this, we should follow this, we should follow this. And those things which you are not at all following, but you have to say, I. So in a simple you, we, I thing, this the whole the dichotomy or whatever it is that was taken care of. Although I have not fully practiced it, but I'm always conscious and aware of this whenever I use the word you or we or I, whether I'm actually following this or not. But that helped me very much. But as I said that, we can't encourage general people always, don't follow anybody. Rather, take whatever good that is there, it is, if it is according to scripture, even a demon is speaking, you take it. What is there wrong? And you cannot absolutely say somebody is the demonic person, because that's a very gray area. It's all very relative. It's a perception based thing. It is. If we think like that, then Prabhupada is, if you see Prabhupada's family life was not so completely perfect or something like that from external point of view, because he left his house at the 45 years or whatever it is. He was coming back, coming back, took sannyas at 55. His children were not fully settled or something like that. So can we say Prabhupada was unsuccessful and he was very, I don't want to use the word demonic or irresponsible in his domestic life? No, these personalities, they come from the spiritual world as messengers of God. So that is not the only criteria. I mean, if we see Advaita Acharya's son, some of them are Mayavadis. Advaita Acharya is the supreme personality of Godhead. So can we say that? But it is true. General principle is that if you are a devotee, you will make your family members also a devotee. If they are not able to become devotee, means there is a problem with you. That is a general. I am talking about exceptions like Prabhupada, Advaita Acharya. But general principle is that, yes, you are right. General principle is that if we are devotees, people around us also will be devotees. We will influence them and we don't get influenced by them if you are a strong devotee. I don't know whether I have sufficiently addressed it or not. If you wanted to add, please add. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.